up a seat at the bar to join us for another episode of McAnally's Pubcast, a podcast exploring the fun and fantastical mind of Jim Butcher's The Dresden Files series. Hosts Tanzan, Maggie, and me bring you another round of literary analysis on this immense, immersive, and colorful environment inhabited by Harry Dresden, the world's only licensed private investigator and professional wizard. Join an active and engaged community of new and die-hard dedicated fans focused on the fabulous themes, theories, characters, context, lore, and more. This is McAnally's Dresden Files Pubcast by Free Flow Rambling. Conjure by it at your own risk.
Welcome to the McAnally's Pubcast, brought to you by Free Flow Rambling. This is episode 17.24, Arctus Interruptus, where we are covering the novel Proven Guilty. My name is Tanzan, and I'm joined by Maggie.
Hello, hello.
And Jess.
95 days!
Woo-hoo.
Double digits.
Chapter 38. Harry and Charity confront the final fetch holding Molly captive.
Fucking spoilers!
Spoilers.
Is it? Isn't it? Is it?
Speaking of spoilers, you are never allowed to tell me about shows I don't watch ever again anyways, because there's a reason I don't. Because even though you purposely try to not think about them from then on out, of course, your brain instantly goes to that every single time. So thank you for the nightmares for the past week.
What is your problem?
There's a reason I didn't watch Game of Thrones.
But that wasn't even Nightmare Fuels. That was just...
But it is.
And you didn't watch it.
And this is the problem. I didn't have to watch it because you guys explained to me what the reference was.
But you don't even know the characters, so why are you
Doesn't
sad?
matter. You told me it was sad. Therefore, my empathetic brain goes on overdrive. And even though I don't know the rest of the context, what you guys gave me and told me that this was a sad moment... Literally, every time I went to close my eyes and was like, okay, let's have no thoughts to go to sleep, I would instantly think of nope, don't like it.
We are not in charge of your emotions.
You are not, which is why.
But I can only hope
to no longer share.
that when that episode does come out, more than just you are traumatized.
I'm sure.
But at least we got you.
But this is the right. This maybe
Still making me laugh.
You vicious psycho.
If we start it up again today, she'll have another week of sleepless sleep.
And this just...
What's another sad thing in Game of Thrones?
Shut up. No, I will not listen.
Have you ever been to weddings?
Shut up. This is... Thank you for making Jessica choke.
Well, that was almost a spit take.
That was...
I like this expensive equipment in front of me. Don't do it.
But this is why.
That would be worth it, to be honest.
If just your summation on that scene to give me context, this is why I won't watch the show. Because obviously there are...
The first episode was enough for you to not watch
Exactly.
the show.
And there's been a time or two when people, I was like, maybe
same
some...
kid.
Again, they're thinking that's how we got... Yes, that's how...
Maybe if you just skip all of Bram's scenes, you can watch the show.
I'm thinking no, that's absolutely not a thing at all.
Fine, we'll talk about the Dresden Files. I feel like that's what we do every week, but whatever.
So
what are we going to do today? The same thing we do every day. Sorry.
Pinky and the brain. Okay. I'm actually doing this for real.
So Charity and Harry have to sprint to the top of these unending stairs to a landing, which sounds awful.
Well, yes, because sprinting to the top of an unending stairwell sounds entirely impossible.
Sisyphus, is that you?
Just keeps what?
A few moments later.
So either way, they make it to the not-so unending...
The Dresden Files again?
Yes, this impossible task of them pushing a boulder up the stairs. So, yes. See, it all comes back together.
Well, Harry managed to at least slow Charity down enough to not be hit by a heavy door about to hit her.
We should call it Free Flow Connections.
Right? It all comes back eventually. Yes, well, and just lucky, I mean, yeah, so obviously I get it.
same basic reaction, right? She hears kid in trouble, boom, 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 let's go. Okay. But I love at the moment he just like, after, coming up on, he's like, no, wait a minute, maybe we shouldn't go rushing through the door. Like, you just magically, you're like, hey, wait a minute, stop before, like, I don't know if that's the place I would have. I mean, it's good because I guess maybe he's just thinking sneaky fairies enough that, of course, they're going to whack you in the face.
He was trying to stop her from the beginning, so he's just trying to slow her down so she doesn't do anything irrational, which clearly she already has. Hence,
I guess it's not
saving her from the door.
My question is there anything in the Never Never that is not fairy make? Is there anything naturally occurring in the Never Never?
Do they have importing?
Well, yes.
Does it eventually succumb to fairy if it's been there long enough?
But this whole, Charity, it's fairy make,
yes.
Did the ice palace grow on its own out of not fairy magic?
Well, and especially, like you say, when you are in the palace of the fairy queen, not even the fairy lady or any, right? So
but again, the snow didn't fall like that.
It is funny that...
And even if it did, I would still claim fairy magic. I just, it's... Charity, do you think maybe the Iron Hammer will work on this place?
All right.
Huh.
Every now and then I have a dumb revelation, too, and go, oh, yeah. It's that!
It is.
Touché.
And fair, and I'm going to say, there must be some, because the fairies are not the only denizens of the Never Never. And
But aren't they? Aren't trolls and ogres and things still part of the Fae?
A lot of those things are, but there are, because he does talk about fairy being its own sort of going through fairies. So there are, I'm not saying we've dealt with a lot of them or come across a lot of them in the fairy, but yes, I believe there are other things that are not, because...
But I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it's the undeclares that are still fairies. They're just not winter or summer, but they're still fairies.
No, because he makes a point, back in, I want to say book 1 when he first is talking about thresholds, but it might be book 3 when we're dealing with vampires, where he says the reasons vampires need an invitation and all that kind of stuff is because they're expending so much energy just trying to hold themselves together outside of the Never Never that they don't have any extra juju left over to whammy through your threshold. So if you just invite them in, they can keep their mask up and then just slaughter you by invitation, as opposed to keeping their mask on and trying to break down barriers and then trying to slaughter you.
I just had a revelation of why Harry was like, it's a door. Oh no, because he played too much D&D.
Right.
It's a door. I must magically inspect it first and then have the revelation, oh yeah, it's just a door.
It's just a door.
It's a fairy magic door. We can do this.
You know that if Harry would be a critical role, he'd be a critter 100%.
Oh, he wouldn't have thought of it. He wouldn't have thought of the hammer. He would have just been like, well, we're screwed.
We're screwed. He can't access them on the whole. He gets Billy to record them all and record them on cassette tape. So Harry sits there with his Walkman and listens to Critical Role because he can't stream it.
Either way, it is very exciting when she smashes the door, except for the part where, she gets hit by the shrapnel of her own hammer.
Which you got to expect.
I didn't expect the hammer to explode, though.
But I don't know. Hitting ice, I would expect ice to explode and come at me.
Right.
Either way, where's your PPE?
It's still a very spectacular description, though. It's like, ooh.
She has her PPE. She put on
a helmet.
Yeah, she did put on She doesn't have the sexy little plastic goggles, maybe, but...
Oh, so sexy.
Oh, yeah.
Well
Anybody
known.
who's ever had to wear them, especially the glasses over glasses.
Top 10 fantasy.
So my favorite. Yeah.
Oh, my.
Yeah, nothing fogs up. But, yeah.
Yeah, it's hot and steamy.
Better. Cease my beating heart.
Okay, so we're in a garden of ice. That's nice and beautiful, and something that I would definitely invest in if I had an ice palace. Elsa.
Right?
Just saying. I guess she hasn't had thousands of years to get there.
That's true. Maybe in time. Because it's enormous.
Which does...
Price is Right is the spire. So what is this thing? It's like this big skinny thing, and then it's just got this giant disc around. What is this? Some kind of weird...
Well, we already know that it's fairy magic, so it doesn't
tower.
have to follow the laws of physics precisely.
Actually, we use triangles because they're more structurally sound in order to build the palette. No, doesn't matter. It all floats.
But you know what? I'm just thinking, I'm sure it looks really cool up top when you're in this thing, but from down below, I'm I don't know, I'm getting some Jetson vibes or something like that. You just got this...
Space needle.
Yeah, this big, long thing, and then just this giant circle, on the top of it or whatever.
Think of Asgard in the Thor movies, okay? They were kind of a lot of, towering roundabouts. What the fuck it was called?
I don't know. Roundabout sounds about right.
The Seattle Space Needles all over the place, but, fancy.
Thank you. Now we have each mentioned it.
Still a tower.
Fucking.
But I don't know. It just isn't, like, again, fairy all gothic and castle-y and Rapunzel Tower. And you're like, no, it's the fucking Space Needle in the middle of it. It's just done in ice instead of, it's like,
She's
okay.
actually Gallifreyan.
Maybe, right? A little bit of that mixed into the boot. I don't know.
It honestly reminds me back to the hotel when Harry first went to go deal with Summer, and they had their own sort of like people garden. Because as we come to find out, all of the statues here are actually very carefully frozen carnations or cardinals or
Carnations. That was what I was
whatever
thinking.
spiders.
Yes.
It's all covered
Live things with a coating of ice, not
Exactly.
carved ice.
But as we went through in the summer night,
God, no! Everything in her garden is carnations.
I hate those flowers. How many times do I have to tell you?
Sorry.
This was fun.
It's just, I'm expecting like creations or something like this. She's like, her whole garden is just, carnations.
I was going for the word cardinal. I mispronounced it. I caught up immediately after. Jeez.
But I thought you were going to go for the people because you're
Well, I did it.
They definitely has slap happy energy, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. Woohoo.
Maybe we should stop doing edibles before we record.
Maybe we should
I was going to
start.
say, but none of us, when you were like, what should be free flow connections, I was like, but none of us smoke pot. Or do we?
And do we?
Yes.
But the same idea, though, as how back then they were Aurora and such, they were posing as, Aurora was posing as a sculptor, but we had all of these other characters that were faking
That we thought were marble statues that were just
definitely
poor
a mirror-
orphan
mirrored
girls
image.
being trapped with power.
And knowing this whole fairies, vampires, et cetera, they don't have to breathe. They're just doing that for our benefit, with maybe the exception of the white vampires. It is that,
white's up.
if they just want to stand there and be a statue for 100 years and observe, they totally can.
So I
I'll
agree.
take it a nap.
I feel like there's a slight umbrage I have to take with that statement. I'm not sure want.
In this particular case, it is a prison.
If they just want to stand
In
around
the
and
summer
be frozen,
hotel,
then-
it did not seem. It seemed like they straight up were trying to be just devious and come across as statues of their own making for their own purposeful choice. I'm saying if a fairy wanted to, they could go set themselves up in Central Park and be a statue for 100 years and get away with it.
They could. Who's to say? I mean, who's to say?
I've been watching a lot of Absolutely Fabulous.
I just feel like because obviously, because there was 3 or 4 statues of Lily. So obviously a couple of them were just statues of Lily. And then there was the that was her trapped power. So I don't know that all of those were...
I'm just saying, they all think alike, regardless of the summer and the winter. They're all like, you know what we should do? Trap some motherfucking people into some motherfucking statues.
Like, it's been done.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying,
it's
some of them
differently.
might be...
And not even like
an actual art.
Not even a long time ago, like only 5 years ago, man.
It's the fairy realm. It could have been like 1,000 years in between for them.
I'm thinking it could have been 5 seconds for them.
That too.
Although I think Mab's probably the inspiration for Summer in this case.
Maybe the other way around. Yes. Not particular. Anyways, yes. However, yes, this beautiful, beautiful garden of supposed ice. So at the bottom of this fountain with like these 3 women, girl people, there is a very scared Molly whose artfully torn clothing is now really torn clothing. She's not having so much fun. You love that? A little scared?
Attempting to scream, but has damaged her vocal cords.
Ugh.
That's rough.
That.
That is some bad screaming.
Right.
Trauma! So Harry preps and gets his blasting rod out, and who appears but the Scarecrow? And he kind of thinks to himself that this may or may not be a fetch because it's not got a glamour. It's actually holding whatever image of this.
Yes. Because his handy-dandy salve would say if it was just... and they saw some of that below the sort of...
Double vision.
Double vision, yeah, images inlaid on.
So this thing is old and it's powerful.
Yeah.
To have been able to, fully encompass the shape of the fearful thing rather than, that's impressive, honestly.
Yes.
Whoa, we in trouble now.
Which leads to Harry questioning whether or not it even is a fetch, if it actually is just embodying the thing it
Maybe
is.
it's some other big, scary, badass thing.
Yeah, Harry confronts the Scarecrow, asks who it is, and it replies it's an agent of Mab's, and Harry tries to get a little smarmy with Shakespearean sparring. But it doesn't quite get him very far.
It doesn't, but it's kind of funny. He's like, I don't know if that's what he was trying to do, but I answered him all the same. And yeah, the Scarecrow's just like, fuck you.
I understand that they have a lot more to talk about here, but Harry never shuts the fuck up. How does he not throw in a real quick, where the fuck is everyone? What happened here?
Good point.
Because I just it's not
If you're an agent of
answered.
Winter, what the fuck happened, man?
It didn't, the answer is not in this book.
No.
And I feel like it very easily could have been, hey man, you guys good here? Notice some problems at the front gate. Yeah, we'll fight over the girl, but real quick. And just the fact that we know for a fact that Harry has no issue taunting bad guys or having sidebars with them, I'm like, where's the answers, man? What the fuck?
And yeah, hard to say, because I mean, it could simply be a very much again, shift of focus with you've got the girl and the thing, and, right now he's trying to do that. Maybe he sort of forgets again for a minute, the whole, he's just like, hey, let's not do anything to draw attention back to the girl and get her killed.
I know, but that's what he always does.
He also can't resist throwing some sass around is the other problem. He's just like, my mouth runs, ha.
That's exactly what I mean, though. He's
But
always
yeah.
like a distraction. Let's have a conversation about something else, Duke Ortega. Who cares about this battle to the death? And then all the bad guys are like, shut the fuck up, I'm gonna kill you. And he's like, okay, but tell me one more thing. And then they're like, yes, I like cream in my coffee. Okay, can I kill you now? And he's like, yeah, okay, go.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Charity snuck around from the back.
That is an excellent point. He wasted opportunity.
Yes.
I mean, it worked anyways. We didn't get any information out of it. If you're gonna just talk bullshit, come on, man, where's the lore?
I was going to say, but yeah, that, I guess, somebody, maybe the author, didn't want to tell us what was going on here yet. I don't know, it could all be too, because with Harry...
That foresight and planning, what the fuck, man?
So annoying.
Well, because like you said, he gets there and he's like, oh, he smells hellfire and stuff like that. So maybe it's also kind of a thing where, whether consciously or subconsciously, he's like, I maybe don't want to, again, start bringing up things I don't want.
Do you know what I think? Time travel Harry. Laying the groundwork so that future and / past Harry can walk through the gates of Arctus Tor and do whatever the fuck he wants.
Maybe, but that's next chapter, so. But regardless, he doesn't find out why the hell everything is open for him to waltz into. And Scarecrow, I'm not scared of you.
Charity has anti-fairy weapons.
Anti-fairy weapons.
Made of iron, swings the thing that we don't technically know what it is, does some damage, so it has to be at least Fae. And then finally, Harry, when things are so bad, he can finally be like, okay, it's time to actually think now. I'm going to connect all the clues. And then you kind of have this little flashback of all the last couple of fetches that he managed to finally take out. And he's like, I wasn't afraid. In those moments, I wasn't afraid. As long as I just fight this thing, fear itself, blah, 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 I can do this. It's like, okay, Harry, thank you very much.
Right.
This whole time you've been like, they feed off people's fear. How do we defeat them? Right? What are we going to do?
I mean,
Fairy 101. It was included. Don't be afraid.
in all fairness, I was going to say, he did tell that to everybody going in, control it as much as you can, because that he just didn't clue into the fact that he had completely gotten rid of his because he was preoccupied with.
Jim Butcher's teacher looked at the class and they said, you cannot have a talking head figure. You cannot have somebody who just comes in and always gives the answer. And Jim Butcher was like, fuck you, I can't. And he makes the creation of Bob. And then he's like, but I'm going to make my main character such a dick, he just doesn't even listen to that guy.
Right? You can, but...
Oh, that's funny.
Right?
I love it.
And it works beautifully, doesn't it?
Do you think there's counseling services out there for assistants to henchmen and bobs and whatever? I try so hard, man.
Just never listens. Why am I even employed by this guy? It doesn't pay me.
No benefits.
I get booby magazines. There's some benefits.
I gotta say that Charity's, though, she's some pretty fierce mama bear energy here, right in that fight, just kicking butt.
And it's nice to know, as she sort of explained in the last chapter or so here, too, that it's not just this primal mama bear, I'm gonna lift a car off. She's like, I fucking trained you guys.
And not to mention, he thought she was gonna be a liability, wasn't even gonna let her, and she's the one that pretty much saves his ass on several occasions here.
Right, having the gear or the
It's so nice to be around competent people. Right. You know that Murphy and Thomas are going going to hold the door. To know that you and Charity can go and save the girl. It's just like everyone knows how to do their fucking job, and they know, we've talked about it before, where it's like, I'll say the code word, and then we're all like, what's the code word? You have to tell me, right? But the character's always like, yeah, I'll totally know what the code word is when it comes. Right?
Yeah, right.
So Harry tries to throw a fire spell at the thing and isn't successful, so instead he throws a force spell under the Scarecrow's feet, which is actually way more effective.
Now the third time we've seen him throw this cheating way out.
Yes, throw it at the things around you instead of the thing or whatever to cause the which.
But his own magic here is now already sort of depleted by this point, so it's only going to get him so far.
Also fair.
You tried. Gotta level up one more time, buddy. One more time.
It's so, I guess, just monsters, vindictive. It gets power from eating children or something like that, I guess. But still, this thing really, had no actual beef with Molly or Harry. He's straight up just like, guys are getting in the way of dinner time. I'm going to kill all of you now. There's just a lot of just, why are you so invested, Fetch?
Because he needs
dinner and dessert?
Yeah.
My whole entire purpose is just to kill things and create more.
I get, but at a certain point, I'd be like, it's way too much effort, man. Take her. I'm just saying, it's not like they, pissed off the Fetches or anything like that, or the Fetches have to get revenge. It's straight up just like Molly made herself known, so they're like, hey, she'd be fun to eat. And then they showed up and they're like, wow, you guys are making this way harder than it has to be. Fuck, fine.
Now
fine.
That's
we'll
the
go next
principle
door.
of the thing, right? He's like, I could just let her go.
There's a whole arena filled with really scared people now.
Yeah.
I got a smorgasbord.
But they don't have Molly's power to feast on.
After going over this part again, I've been thinking that Harry specifically tells Charity that Fetches are Queen Mab's elite spies and assassins, shapeshifters with a lot of power. And so combine that fact with Mab obviously being aware of everything that's going on, and the point that I keep making that it doesn't make sense that the Fetch is so persistent about Molly. It led me to think that maybe Mab actually did in fact send the Fetches after Molly as a new way of slowly roping in her knight. For good or for bad, whether Molly had gotten eaten or not, it gave Harry one more reason to enshrine himself with the Fae and involve himself with a little bit more and more and more morally gray aspects, which could then potentially push him towards taking up the mantle of being Mab's knight. Or if none of that, just bringing him to Arctus Tour to see Slade was possibly all she thought it would take to get him to potentially make that choice. Whatever it was that Mab could have potentially been planning or hoping for, there was a lot of options, and that's why I think now that sending the Fetches after Molly was potentially just convenient. Mab just happened to stumble upon this happening, or otherwise was aware through her own powers of such that Molly was developing a talent, and who knows, maybe even nudge Molly, but I think at the very least nudge the Fetches because she saw an opportunity and took it, and that's why A, we're getting the Fetches who are Mab's fucking Fetches, and B, you're getting Fetches who are so obsessed with Molly for a little bit overreacting, overzealous reasons, but otherwise, that's a potential angle that I have now considered thinking back on this the last couple of weeks since I first recorded this.
And I mean, they do almost, because he gets his hands on her, and they start chopping off bits, and the bits just keep choking on. This is the thing. They're like, oh, wait a minute, that didn't, you know what I mean? They kind of almost do it anyways, where your helping isn't helping, you're making this worse.
That stupid Hydra problem.
Right? Yeah, exactly. And then again, you had a piece of that back in the Full Moon Garage kind of a thing when he was doing it to Harry, right? They lopped off a thing, and Harry's like, I'm still choking over here, and right? And I'm like, yeah, you knew this could be a thing, and now you basically just done it to Molly. So yeah, you just about rip her in half anyway, you're choking her to death or whatever, right?
It's kind of interesting if you've got a Fetch killing you and you're not afraid, but the person they're killing is afraid. Is it like warring powers versus weaknesses to the Fetch?
Right.
Like in D&D, you cannot have more than one advantage. You cannot have more than one disadvantage, so they equal out to just make 0.
Yeah.
So is it like something like that, or?
I bet you it is, just based on some of the other mechanics that we've already come across.
I'm wondering, because I could see if Harry's being like, I'm not afraid of you, and Molly's like, I am. And then the Fetch being like, yeah, woo.
Well, I was going to say, at least for that portion of it or whatever, right? You'd think that it's, got to at least be feeding strength into that. And then, so fine. So Harry's maybe or not, I don't know.
You know what every good garden needs? Butterfly. Oh, you say it.
I was going to say a pole vaulter?
What kind of gardens are you going to?
But he uses his staff like a pole vault to like
Oh,
throw
okay,
himself
okay.
because once he ran out of magic. That's why.
Okay.
I was like, which I think he's used that move before, hasn't he? Like used his staff to like launch himself at
That seems like a child thing to do with a stick, not like a 6.5-foot man.
Good point. I feel kind of like you're right, but nothing is immediately coming to mind right now. I mean,
You see, it's called a fulcrum.
He definitely has used it other ways for things like whether it's like this particular move. I don't know.
used it as a golf club, a pole vault, but I think that one's. I can feel like he's launched himself before with this, but.
Multi-use stick, maybe in the graveyard with Charity last time.
Yeah, I don't know. Regardless, but yes, I feel like you're.
So Harry reaches out to this butterfly, and it all suddenly makes sense. Lily, you deceitful, manipulative girl.
Wonderful girl.
So good. Thanks, Lily.
Lily, which is another favorite of Harry's, to start cursing them out and swap to he did it to Elaine, he's doing it to Lily. I think he's had a few others where he's like, you stupid, goddamn, awful, brilliant, wonderful person.
So it does turn out that those danger butterflies were very useful to Harry's cause, and he
this little
just happens
warming
to take
spell
those
stuff
power
full
into
of
himself.
summer magic. What if I just tapped a little of that?
Not only does it brings him life, but more importantly, hope, which, scares the shit out of the fish. He's like, oh, no,
Wait.
cheater, pumpkin eater.
We bring up that Jim Butcher does very short and fast chapters, where other authors might have only like 10 chapters for Jim Butcher's 40-something chapters. But the good thing about Jim Butcher ending chapters so often is that Harry gets like mic drop moment after mic drop moment after mic drop moment.
Right, exactly.
Like, it's so many badass lines. It's like going to commercial in a TV show. I'm sure some movies wish they could just do that. Just like fade to commercial now. Who are they on the edge of their seats? Who?
Exactly. Yeah, you got a lot more cliffhangers or whatever with the... Yes, exactly.
Yeah, he's really good about making you want to continue to the next chapter.
Have you seen this one?
But it's a good setup because, he all of a sudden starts and the Scarecrow's like, but you can't do that. You were, like, dead. You were drained. You can't just suddenly be, like, in this again. Like it's not possible. And Harry's just like,
And I just love that, like, Jedi Knight style, like, willing the blasting rod back to
That's
himself.
so cool,
For, like,
too.
his finishing move kind of moment.
That's really cool.
Right. Yes.
Haha, I brought steroids to a knife fight.
Yeah.
Which, also, to be fair, I know he had no time. This all came up very last. But wasn't it literally the first book or something where he sat down to brew a bunch of potions? Because he's like, when him and Susan were like chugging all this different shit or whatever like that, right? How do you not just keep potions already made on your mantle? How fast is the expiry date for them? How do you not just have a top-up, I need just 12 hours of go-go juice?
And this is what
that was Full Moon, where he's, like, popping all the bevies?
Oh, you're right. It was Full Moon, yeah.
Well, there was, because it was in Stormfront that Susan accidentally drinks the love potion instead of the fly-away potion. Because, yes, that...
But I'm saying when he made the caffeine potion.
But the caffeine potion and stuff, that was Full Moon, yeah. But this, again, comes up to where we've stated it before, where Harry comes up with these super cool things and then never ever uses them again. Like his...
Well,
like,
sometimes he justifies it, like he can't do the light thing because he's not happy anymore.
Yeah, and sometimes you get...
So there might be a...
But again...
That's fair enough, but the leveling up shouldn't mean you can't use an idea twice. It should mean, like, now you just always keep it ready on hand.
I was going to say, for something like that, like, exactly, you'd think he would keep his caffeine potions on hand somehow, figure out a shortcut. Again, if they have a short expiration date, figure out how to...
Or even if there was a rule in there about, like, potion making is about so much intent that if you don't use it for you don't have in mind the exact thing you're going to be using it for, it's not effective or something like that, so it doesn't work 6 months down the line because you made it for, like...
Oh, which would make sense anyways, because the moment sunrise hits, it would always...
Degrade
Yeah,
anyway. Maybe. I guess that I'm willing to accept a little.
But to a
because he already says that with some of his spells, that they get worn down by daylight.
His
some
threshold
of the
spell.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is he has a thing running to renew those all the time, and sometimes
Why don't you have a magical mini fridge, Harry?
Well, and that's the thing, I think to a point, because obviously sometimes potions, because he does allude to, like you say, that
mini icebox. mouth.
Oh, yeah, right. That's stupid fuck.
Just be like one of those coolers. Sorry.
No, that's magically warded to not care about sunrises.
But that's the thing is obviously some of those things do last a while because like some people do make money off their potions and whatever, right? So depending on the intent and the whatever, there's got to be a way to
More nuance than he has.
is stopper it up and make it last for, seal it up like anything goes bad if you, whatever, right? But yeah. But again, one of those things where you would
Harry's
think
like,
that,
I'm really getting into canning lately.
yeah, exactly. But that's the thing. Like, he has, like, his little force rings and stuff like that, I mean, like, okay, great, you can punch harder. But if you still use your force rings, every time you can punch harder, you can still punch that much harder.
He's so funny. I gotta put more points into strength, okay? We're gonna do, like, the force ring, and we're gonna up the shield, and we're gonna put more defensive on the jacket. And everyone's like, just be a wizard. Brew a potion. What's wrong with you?
Like, same thing. Like, yeah, he had his little, like...
Keeps playing a
belt.
gun
Yeah,
to
the
the
bear
buckle.
strength. Damn it.
Yeah, his little bear. And I get sometimes, right, he's like, oh, I carved it myself. I'm like, okay, it's probably going to take Harry a while to carve some metal belt buckle thing and infuse it with magic. And I understand even some of that, where, like you say, the time components become a thing, right? But yeah, like potions and stuff like that, even for all the big deal that he makes about them, I'm like, when he actually sits down and does them, you're like, they're actually not that bad, most of them.
At worst, your afternoon?
I was going to say, like especially because, you're doing them on a budget anyways, right? It's like your stale coffee and motor oil. I'm like, you can come up with that.
Maybe that's why he can't keep them on his shelf, because all the ingredients he used were already, like, past expiration date. He's like, yeah, you want to drink this
Man,
6
I have
weeks
the
later?
worst gut rot from this shit, man.
Right, it's either that or, Bob wants him to use, like, diamonds and... But, yes, I know. Just one of those things where, again, we just don't really talk about it, I guess.
Thank you to our Patreon subscribers for your generous support. It's people like you who help us to do what we do. If you're not yet a Patreon subscriber, sign up today and get a fuck ton of bonus content, kick-ass merch, behind-the-scenes outtakes, and more. Sign up today at www.patreon.com/freeflowrambling.
Chapter 39. Harry uses the power of summer to spectacularly defeat the Elder Fetch, but in doing so draws the wrath of all of winter upon himself. Before retreating from the tower, Harry discovers Lloyd Slate and Lea are captives of Mab.
So Harry sucks in his little fiery butterfly and shoots it at the scarecrow and fairly demolishes him in one blow.
Feedback.
Feedback.
I mean, sure, he gets a good blow here and there, but man, it's just quite the honest ass kicking from the get-go once he realizes that he's got the power of summer to use.
This is, again, though, why does the Scarecrow care so much? Because it takes this wallop, and then he's like, all right, fuck you, I'm going after them after all. And
Well, see,
turns
that's
on
it
them.
now. Now he's just pissed in general, right? Now he's like,
Run!
well, now...
Run, dude, run like the other fetches ran.
But that's the
in a
thing.
rage.
He's big and powerful. Nothing has defeated him beforehand. So it's like, again, it's that
They're all
hubris
so
or
dumb.
whatever that, he's like, this puny mortal isn't going to get the best on me.
But he's not even trying to fight Harry now. He immediately is like, nope, I can't take you, but I'm going to eat them still.
He does have some, crazy things that he could pull out, which is, that Sonic the Sledgehammer scream of his, which is
Though
kinda
the
Yeah.
scarecrow thingy,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, that can do some damage.
It's enough to knock him back, though.
Yeah.
To be knocked back by sound should really have liquefied his internal organs, but it's fairy.
It's never. It's, gunpowder doesn't work and sound can,
It is nifty, though.
Yeah. But the thing is that once he unleashes it and melts like half the garden and the whole thing, it's not just the scarecrow all of a sudden that's screaming. All of a sudden, apparently, Harry's woken up, invoked, attracted the attention of...
Oh, is that all of winter that's screaming? Is it the wellspring that's screaming?
I don't think yet, but maybe he's able to channel.
Because, it's this scream that, is...
I'm not
I don't know, maybe it could be.
It's
Now that you said it that way, I was like, oh, maybe it's not just the scarecrow.
It just says, but the scarecrow wasn't the only fairy who cried out. Without warning, a hurricane of sound slammed into me, painfully intense. Once more, Arctus tore shuddered, the black ice trembling and heaving, while deep, almost subsonic groans echoed through the fortress. The other fetch's scream arose from below, a frenzied chorus of berserk rage.
Maybe this place is bustling, but they're all invisible.
Because like, I mean, it is a little bit of a
salve
spoiler,
doesn't
but
work.
like later it's explained what he actually did, which is threaten the wellspring.
The wellspring, yeah. But I think that's the point it's saying is it's not just the scarecrows thing. It's all of a sudden all of this, and this is the sound wave. It's like all of fairies suddenly sat up and taken notice. And that's where
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, because originally I just took it as it was the scarecrow's ability to be able to throw this thunderous scream, but
yeah, no, I think it was on
influencing.
top.
But that, in hindsight now,
yes, yeah, it was.
That was just winter being very angry.
Yes,
On further
that was
reflection.
a lot of things.
So Charity once again proving herself, faking the dead possum, and then wha-bam, whack, pop up and slice. Love to see it.
Right.
But even still, that whole get down, Charity, and her dropping immediately is, again, it's that competency again. We're like, yes, fuck yeah, good fight scene. They don't train together, but they know their fucking shit and they listen to each other.
Yes, exactly. Because,
Charity continues to impress me.
Right. And I think Harry, again, this grudging respect he has for her, because he's like, she's always hated me. She's always been mean to me. He's like, damn, but she is so competent, though. Fuck.
It's a nice flip on her previous arc, which was just like doting mother. Like, this is very cool. Very cool to whip out.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
And, a little bit pigeonholed probably isn't the right phrase, but what do you do when you're pregnant and kidnapped? It's not a lot of options for you. So it's nice to see, like, you see when I'm not being weighed down by a baby?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when you're not like, heavily about to give birth pregnant.
Not just somebody's mom, Dresden. I'm going to fuck you up.
Which is funny. It makes me laugh, you commenting on that, because it reminds me of a snippet of, I'm going to screw up her name. Olivia Colman? British actress. And
Yes, she is.
in Broadchurch. Yeah.
I think
I've got yeah. But anyways, she was pregnant, so I think eventually they were, but at one point, like in the beginning or something like that, there was just this thing where it was like the producer or the director or somebody, and it was like, could you just walk like a little less pregnant? And she was like, I don't know how I'm supposed, like, just funny
this
little.
is like Xena, and you just put her behind a big giant.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Put her in a big coat, it's fine. Nobody
Yeah.
will notice.
Yeah, and I cannot.
Flower vase right here.
Exactly, yeah, they're always just behind something or just but yeah, it was kind of funny, her, being very heavily pregnant and then being like, can you not be? She's like, no. So does this, he gives his big kapowie whack, flings big fetch out into nowhere, haha, I'm so cool, I'm master of the universe, Harry!
I unleashed the fire again, this time so brilliant that it lit dark mountainsides 5 or 10 miles away. What the fuck?
Yeah, and that the
What
other
the
fetch were just
fuck?
like, oh no, I gotta go.
They finally are like, okay, I'm done fighting.
A fairy queen hands you a droplet of power, and it's a bajillion times more than you could do. And you're
10
like,
miles, yeah, exactly.
should you have given this to me, Lily? I could have done.
Yeah, that is just one hell of a crazy,
I mean,
spectacular display.
you showed up to Arctus Tour and was like, have you heard of 9/11?
Yeah, so as Charity's starting to slide towards the edge of the parapet, Harry extends a branch to help her stop her impending descent.
Yeah, thankfully takes him a second. I love how he's like about to go running after and then be like, nope, Dad would put me in the same thing. What did I learn in
You're brushing over the who's next? Fuck, he's so angry. Oh my god. He's gonna take on all of fairy. It's so cool.
Yes, that's true. Sorry. Yes.
Okay, now Harry Charity can die.
I said he was doing his whole big, like...
Yeah, I know, but still, that moment is just like, oh, Harry.
See, and that's where, like, the fetch and shit was. The fetch was just like, I don't care. I'm gonna just keep eating these people. You want some of this? And
Well,
you're
it's not the
like,
fetch's
why
fault.
isn't he just running away? But when Harry does it,
drunk
it's
on
super
summer
cool.
power.
Oh my god, he's so hot, guys. Do you think he likes me?
Right? But yes, again, and we've seen this once or twice with Harry too, where exactly. I mean, honestly, I think that's fair. Most of us, if we suddenly get the upper hand in something, we're all of a sudden like, yeah, okay, and like, sure, come at me, right?
No idea what you mean.
No, you've never gotten the upper hand in anything in your whole entire life.
Just so beaten down.
Nobody knows.
Everyone laugh at that. It's a really funny joke from before we were recording.
That's right.
So as Charity checks on Molly, Harry notices that the crucified man is somewhat thawed out, and then takes a closer look, and it's Lloyd Slate.
Wait a minute, I know this crucified man.
Gross.
Gross. 4 years later.
Yeah, just a wretched state. So bad that, like, once Slate realizes who is there, he just immediately begs him to kill him.
Oh, thank God, Harry, you're here.
Like,
Kill
what
me.
a flip from his behaviors before. Like, so he is so tortured that
There's
the
no
first thing out of
who's
his
next
mouth
coming
is,
from Lloyd anymore.
Just end it for me, please.
Yeah, he is in pretty bad, and just like everything, like, again, so frozen and mutilated that like his own blood is poisoning him.
I have a question, and maybe I'm misremembering this because it happens, but wasn't it Fix that said at some point he saw Lloyd Slate and, like, was in a bad state? It might not have been Fix, but somebody saw, but I think it is him, that he was like, I've seen him, and you don't want to know how bad he is. Like there was something like that, right?
No, it doesn't.
From my recollection, in future books, and I can't believe you're remembering it.
I mean, we covered it already. Like, somebody has seen him and makes comment that he's like, that Slate is like, you don't want to know how bad he is basically that's what they said.
I don't believe it's that. My best is I believe
So if
Mab,
he's been here, how did Fix see him?
Mab
It's like you could put him out of his suffering.
Mab propositioned Harry again a year or so after.
It might not even been this book. Like, it might
Yeah,
even be
no.
prior one, but
Wasn't
somebody
it?
has mentioned that they've seen him. Like, somebody has said to Harry how bad Lloyd Slate is.
That's not. I'm thinking.
So how did they get up to this?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
In Dead Beat, Mab goes, "My offer of knighthood yet stands open to you. What's wrong with the new guy that you dump him for me?" Mab showed me her teeth again. "I have not yet replaced my current knight. Treacherous?
Treachery?
It says treacher. Treacher? He probably meant to say treacher. I don't even know. Next to the highlighted blue, treacher. This might just be a copy problem.
It might just be. It might have been like.
Treacherous though he is.
Treacher he is.
Treacherous though he is, she purred. "He's still alive?" I asked. "I suppose," Mab said, "though he very much wishes that he were not. I have taken the time to explain to him at length the error of his ways. Torture. She'd been torturing him in vengeance for his treachery for more than 3 years. I felt a little sick to my stomach."
Yeah.
God, I thought there was another occasion, though, that somebody else saw him.
Yeah, no, that's my only just that, when Mab
But
offers
that's maybe
it
it
to
because
him.
he's the one that was shuddering, because I thought I remember somebody. Yeah. And like I said, could have been me misremembering that moment there.
Yeah. But yeah, because I don't recall somebody else ever.
Which would also explain, because, well, if it was her saying that, well, yeah, obviously she's been there.
Yeah.
Okay.
She definitely would know what she's talking about. Yes.
I don't know why I thought it was fixed, though. So,
I don't know either. Regardless, yeah. So he is, not looking good. Just not even just like outside sort of, but like even the deep internal things. Like just sort of every like molecule of this man is like fucked up somehow in some way, and it's just very nasty. Very.
The part, though, where he's like, after perhaps 10 minutes, he passed out. I'm like, you just stared at him for 10 minutes and no one else did anything, spoke to you at all. And then Leah's like, okay, now I'll talk to him.
Yeah.
Maybe she was just still waiting to melt. She's like, my mouth is so...
Who else is going to appreciate the dramatics of this? You know, I mean, the fairies are all Shakespearean and the whole, right? Like, they're going to be
10
like...
minutes is a long time to just wash him and pass out. Harry's just like so being abused. He's like, are you still here?
Lea is also there and explains to Harry just how Mab has been torturing Slate with this sort of twisted kindness to break him down. She repeatedly comes, heals him, and then in the morning hangs him back on the tree again.
Yeah, so it's not even the
amongst other things.
Torture that, like, just levels of this, levels upon levels.
Quick sidebar. The last time we tried to see Lea and call her up, Mab appeared because Lea was indisposed.
Yeah.
So we already know that Lea herself has been here for a little while.
Yes.
Yeah, when he says at least a year, at the very least.
So it's like,
Yeah, because he tries to get some help with the whole zombie apocalypse. And yeah, he's like, oh shit, didn't mean to call you Mab. And she's like, nah, it's fine. I'm filling in.
Well, she's definitely continually described here in a something is off with her.
wrong. But yeah, Mab's really playing up this whole Warden thing this last year.
Yeah, there is like just everybody's getting locked up left, right, and center. And similar but different because Lea obviously isn't tortured the same way. So again, she got a little too uppity. Apparently, all that magic stuff she swapped around back at Bianca's and this and that. Made her a little too big for her britches, but she's obviously not in trouble the way that Lloyd is in trouble.
I grew too arrogant with the power I held. I thought I could overcome what stalks us all. Foolish, my lady Queen Mab taught me the error of my ways. It's just, I always have to look at what the Fae and how they say things and go,
Yeah, because it sounds like, oh, okay, she did again, right?
What does
Took
stalk us
too
all?
much.
Ooh.
Well, right, and that's the thing is it's figuring out sort of just the flowery language and the actual meaning and stuff like that because,
tricksy fairies.
yeah, you don't really know. You kind of think, you sort of get that magician sleight of hand look over here kind
Masters
of a thing.
of double entendre.
They're kind of giving you an explanation, but not again until much, much later. Can you go back with hindsight and be like, oh, I missed that. That's kind of what they meant. Or because, right? It's still enough that you're not like, what is she talking about? But less to be like, oh, that wasn't the full story. So yeah, little hints and clues there.
Am I crazy, or does he not say like, oh, I thought he said here that like, oh, even Lloyd doesn't deserve that. Not like out loud, but in his thoughts. I thought he said somewhere that he was like, even that's like going too far. And I was going to call him out on beat like, no, it's not, but I cannot now find it. And I'm like, did I just...
Yeah, because he says something about him being a rapist and shit too.
Yeah, I just searched for the word rapist and I couldn't find it in my text. So I'm like, where, did I imagine that scene?
No, he does, because yes, he does say that.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Got it?
Finally, I found it. Apparently.
Did you spell rapist wrong?
I searched the word rape, so the E didn't find it. Okay, that's when he first sees him. Okay, never mind then.
You don't have anything to say about that?
I guess he doesn't follow it up with, no one deserves that. He just kind of immediately turns to Lea and says, like, what's wrong with you?
I mean, he does kind of imply it or say it somewhere along the way, I think, because it is pretty horrific.
I think it's actually pretty opposite because he spends that 10 minutes deciding whether or not he wants to
Well, yeah.
make it worse for him. What is it? Suffer more?
Granted.
Okay,
Yes.
never mind that. Go forward.
I mean, either way, I think
Crazy
that
tree.
would be pretty typical. I could see having the same thing. On the one hand, you'd be like, yeah, you deserve it. And on the other hand, being like,
But some
this
dark,
is a
hard
lot
part of
to-
me wanted to see what else I could think of to make him suffer more.
Yeah. So that's his compromise, is he just stands there in indecision for a long time. And then he's like, well, he passed out again. Guess I don't have
Not gonna kill you.
What can I
not
possibly do
gonna
anyway? It's your
kill
man's
you.
problem. Bye.
to. Yeah. And again, I get that to a point. I totally understand from Lloyd Slate. Sure, awesome, Harry, you actually have human empathy and whatever, and you'll kill me. But again, I'm like, yeah, but if this is what she did to you for him, how much more pissed is she going to be at Harry for taking away her thing, killing him, and releasing that power before she, I get it, but even just from that, even if you actually had sympathy for Lloyd and weren't considering doing, you know what I mean? I'm like, I'm not sure I'd want to take that on, even still. Sorry, Lloyd. Not going to divert that my way. But yes, then Leah's like, oh, I did some shit. And then she's like, you should pay attention to this. She's like, Mab has patience, and Mab is all the time in the world. And, remember this, kiddo.
The consummate chess player.
Yes, right.
She probably invented chess.
Right. But her making a specific point here to be like, take lessons from all this shit you see up here. Don't just be like, oh yeah, Mab has. Right? Very definitely, I'm looking at you, Harry. And then, it goes into, more what happened to her and everything like that. And he's like, but he's like, let's get you out of here. And she's like, no, you can't. Oh, yes, you can. No, you can't. No, wait, I changed my mind. We get a whole, crazy stick here.
Yeah, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde movie.
Yeah.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, which is probably just as well that it's a little unnerving because all of a sudden Thomas comes running up and Harry's like, oh shit, are we being invaded? And he's like,
It's like the Wild Hunt Plus.
Yeah.
plus other stuff.
Yeah, Thomas is
It's
like,
bad.
so,
It's bad.
yeah, remember that thing I did that I finally admitted to you? I'm kind of like tuned into it now.
When they look, all I could think of was like a scene from like the Lord of the Rings when like all these things come over this hill they start to attack.
Right.
I was like, oh God, that's how I see it.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Oh, you gotta go.
Right?
See, this scene reminds me in the Harry Potter movies when Hagrid's looking for a volunteer to ride Buckbeak and the whole class just takes a step back from and it makes like Harry step forward. And it's like Thomas and Harry both staring at Leah and just both being like, acting up like, what the fuck is wrong with her?
Exactly right. Thomas is like, it's time to go. We got things coming. And Harry's like, all right, well, help me. And he's like, holy shit. First of all, like, I love that Thomas didn't realize that this half-frozen thing was actually, But then Lee's like, no, you can't. And he's like, come on, I'm not gonna, like, you're my godmother. And then she's like, actually, yes, no. Take me with you. And he's like, oh,
Another
what?
interesting thing coming out of her mouth. I cannot yet be trusted. It is not time. I would not be able to fulfill my promise to your mother should you free me now.
That's also interesting. I think from what we know, Harry's mother entrusted Leah to be guardian. That's what a godmother does. So I think, if Leah's crazy, then how is she supposed to be a good guardian and protect and care for Harry? But the details are obviously not there.
Yeah, it's exactly that. Yeah, she is supposed to do some kind of looking out for, watching over, teaching, training, whatever.
Well, and Harry and Thomas are kind of absolved of like being having to make this decision anyways because they're like, they don't have the time to free her at this point anyways. It's just like the
ice is starting to
is coming.
Yeah,
winter is coming.
Yeah.
You guys think you're so smart. So, flashback to when we found out that Thomas joined the Wild Hunt. He can feel that all of winter is on its way here.
All the hunt and stuff, yeah.
Pardon moi?
And Harry realizes this is all his fault because he's like, oh, me unleashing like summer power in the middle of winter, did that do that? And Leah's like, yeah, fucktard.
Some might consider that an act of war.
Hello. He's like, oh, okay. Journey. So yes, the time to act, whether he could have, would have, should have, it's over. He's out of time. Things are coming. Things are freezing back out. He no longer has that decision
That's
to
nice,
make.
Jim Butcher. Take that one out of his hands.
Yeah, conveniently just, no more time to sit and think and wonder. Just, okay, we gotta go. We gotta go now. And they have a never-ending stairwell to run back down again. I like too, actually, the moment when Thomas comes up and Harry freaks for a second. He's like, Murphy. And he's like, no, she's fine. But she's not gonna be. Because we got a lot of stuff coming now.
Okay, we ghosted over it. I do want to talk about it. When he first gets here and there's a fucking statue of 3 people. Mm-hmm. He, at the time, references like, oh yeah, it kind of looks like, Mother Maiden Crone, the 3 Queens of Fairy, or perhaps Hecate and her 3 faces. And we've seen this Hecate come up multiple times now throughout the Dresden files.
Same concept, same, overlap, Shakespeare, the whole, everything.
In the order of events that we have covered our podcast, we first covered this back in Welcome to the Jungle, when he was dealing with witchy Hecate.
Hags,
yeah, exactly, right? But it keeps getting pulled back and back and back with this 3-faced, the 3 queens, the 3 women, the 3 Hecates, and it's just nonstop.
Almost like it's an ongoing thing in like mythologies and lores.
It's just crazy, right?
And that it
and then one of those faces winks.
I love that moment. It's so great.
So
he's like, oh no, gotta go.
But it puts everything that just happened in Arctus tour into perspective. Mab wanted all this to happen.
She knew it was
agreed to all of this happen. She not necessarily orchestrated, but at least approved.
She's obviously witnessing everything that Harry has done, and she took no steps to interfere in the moment, so she's like, yeah, all right.
That's crazy to me. This whole, I knocked on the door and it opened, or who knows all these other moments that have come up. It's been like, shit. And it also is this whole Leah being like, she cares for him and tortures him and she's the only one. It almost feels the same, like she's like, one day, Harry, you're gonna be my knight. Wink, 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 nudge, nudge, nudge. We are going to be friends. And the fact that, Harry doesn't share that with anyone. He just acknowledges and he's like, gulp. Okay. Bye, bye, bye. That is crazy to me. And especially this whole, even Mab knowing all of winter is coming too, is even funnier. And she's like, okay, good luck.
Yeah, she's like, you
find it yourself.
might want to go now.
Yeah, you'll probably live.
I got company coming.
This is especially Mab, though. She's like, if you don't get out of this, I don't want you as a knight.
That, right?
It's a great moment.
It's so, so good. It really is, actually. I really do like it.
Oh, just that.
I don't know. It scratches an itch I didn't even know I had, but she does that wink and you're just like, ordained by Matt, potentially? I'm not exactly sure the word I want to use for it, but holy shit.
Kind of with a blessing.
It's just that sort of like, I don't know,
sanctioned.
realizing that the fates were here the whole time, and it's like, oh shit, this was actually written in the stars. I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Stars
these
and
fairies.
stones. I don't know.
You just get that sort of like evil finger tapping thing that they do. The bad guys always do, right? And it's just like, oh really?
Mr.
Oh really?
Burns.
Are Lily and Maeve running around? That's so cute. That's so cute.
This concludes our episode 17.24, Arctus Interruptus. Thank you for listening. You can find us online at freeflowrambling.com and McAnallys.ca. There we have links to our other podcasts, social media, and other fun tidbits. Please subscribe if you like what you're hearing, and please consider supporting us through Patreon to keep the magic alive and to see more content. We are Free Flow Rambling. Conjure by it at your own risk.